All right. I've already played this video for you, but I'm going to play it again so it can be heard. It's a reel. I don't know how to rewind them. Again, we know I'm super analog in my, I'm super analog in my understanding of technology, but it starts out, did you know that narcissistic? So I don't know if you're going to be able to hear that part.
It raises your cortisol levels in your body so high that over a certain amount of time, a long period of time, it actually shrinks your hippocampus, which is the center of your brain that is in control of short-term memory and learning. Your amygdala swells up. That's your reptilian brain. That's the part of your brain that controls your primal emotions. Fear, anxiety, guilt, shame, lust, anger, all of that. It controls all of it. And when it swells up, it's going to constantly put you in a state of fear and arousal, and your fight or flight is going to be going crazy all the time in a constant state of survival mode. And doing this over a long period of time is actually going to lead to the person having severe anxiety and having severe panic attacks. And it actually affects the way that the person can handle their emotions. It's not your fault. Did you know that narcissistic abuse actually causes brain damage in the victims? It raises your cortisol levels in your body so high that over a certain amount of time, a long period of time, it actually shrinks your hippocampus, which is the center of your brain that is in control of short-term memory and learning. Your amygdala swells up. That's your reptilian brain. That's the part of your brain that controls your primal emotions. Fear, anxiety, guilt, shame, lust, anger, all of that. It controls all of it. And when it swells up, it's going to constantly put you in a state of fear and arousal, and your fight or flight is going to be going crazy all the time in a constant state of survival mode. And doing this over a long period of time is actually going to lead to the person having severe anxiety and having severe panic attacks. And it actually affects the way that the person can handle their emotions. It's not your fault. Did you know that narcissistic abuse actually...
I am currently saving. The last time I tried to talk to you, the last couch session, and I've labeled it another pointless conversation. I've been explaining to you for years that my recall, this fog, I thought I had a brain tumor. And I've told you, it feels like my brain's swollen. It feels like my brain's swollen. And you're like, either nothing, not even a grunt out of your face hole, or like, not even like a, yeah, that sucks. Huh, brain swollen, weird. Huh, fucking in, man. And I just recorded, well, I didn't. My son, 2 days ago, no, Memorial Day. Yeah, 2 days ago. The day before Memorial Day. Again, time is... I live in dog years. And there's actually, if you look it up, narcissistic abuse, you live in condensed time. It's a thing, which is why I can never remember where I am in the time and space continuum. But he filmed you through the bushes because he never knows what you're going to do. And he's actually 13 years old, apologizing to me that he didn't turn the camera on soon enough so that people could see the way you lose control and rage at me and fucking scream at me, and the ways your eyes turn black, and the way you aggressively are in my space, and we never know what is going to happen. What is going to happen? And then if I fight back and I call the police, then you get to say, she scratched me. Because I'm trying to get you the fuck out of my space. And because you will antagonize until you take me to that point where I'm losing my fucking mind. Genuinely losing my swollen ass brain. And I have a child hiding in the bushes apologizing to me that he didn't turn the camera on in time. And I had my mastermind last night, and the ladies, God love them, 100%, I hear where they're coming from. Unless you have a clinical diagnosis, we shouldn't say narcissism. And you know the best part about a slander or a libel lawsuit, or even having a fucking narcissist go in to get a psych eval, the best part about it is either way, it negates my experience. I can have my swollen brain. I cannot be able to function. I can fight through the depression and anxiety and panic attacks. But I can't say narcissist. Because a self-aware narcissist is a fucking unicorn. We've already recorded the fact that you have no self-awareness. The things that you're willing to quote-unquote admit about your narcissism isn't even real. Doesn't even scratch the surface. And now you're going to go sit through a psych evaluation and say what? Yeah, but nuh-uh. Yeah, but nuh-uh. So now here I am expected to suffer in silence and be fucking muzzled until I can have a complete fucking stranger come in, do a psych eval, and you're either going to like see this shit or not. They're either going to say you're a narcissist or not. Let's say they say you're a narcissist. Now what? Hey, I got a personality disorder. It's not my fault. It's not my fault. I got a personality disorder. Hey, what do you want from me, huh? Hey, they even said, it's a personality disorder. What do you want from me? Or, my fucking favorite, nuh-uh. Nuh-uh. You don't have a personality disorder. No. I'm the one, I am the one who has been in the trenches with you for the last 5 years in this hellhole fucking endless torture and trauma and drama and chaos. And you can go in and manipulate a fucking test because a fucking narcissist superpower is fucking manipulation. So now I need a third party to come in and say yeah or nah. Because somehow I'm not licensed. I am not educated enough. All I can do is be muzzled and torture and suffer. But I can't say anything. I can't say that little magic word. So then you go in and you don't beat the test. Oh, you got a personality disorder. Hey, what do you want from me? Or, nuh-uh. Nope, Jess. Let's talk about you. Let's talk about you. You know, I think you could be the narcissist here. Let's unpack that. Let's talk about you. I've been seeing some things about the way you yell. And I want to talk, you know, I really, Chris, I want to commend you for being here today and confronting your abuser. I just want to commend you, Chris. You are such a stand-up guy. You're such a wonderful man, the way you can show up and be here for your wife. Now, let's gaslight her and gang up on her, shall we? So you can't lose.
You're talking about a marriage therapist?
A marriage therapist, or somebody says, nope, somebody who fucking clinically diagnoses you as nuh-uh. The ones that have no fucking idea what narcissism is are going to administer some fucking test to him and a master manipulator and then say, yeah, no, he's not a narcissist. He's fine. He's fine. So I'm gaslit either way. You cannot lose. Okay, you're a narcissist. Hey, I'm a narcissist. What do you want from me? Or, no, told you I'm not a narcissist either fucking way. My experience is diminished and gaslit. And either way, it continues to be about you. Whether you do or don't. You cannot lose. And now you want to tell me that because you've watched this video that I've actually explained to you, my brain is fucking swollen. My son's brain is swollen. He's hiding in bushes because he's terrified. The fucking man I let into our lives is going to choke me to death in broad daylight on our fucking property on Memorial Day. And now you want to say, I can't shake that video. I can't shake that video.
What I said was I couldn't shake what you told me. That video was profound and it hurt my heart, but that's not what it was saying I couldn't shake.
Oh, what can't you shake then? Sorry, I'm laboring under a delusion apparently, as always. So go ahead.
No.
What
I've been watching, what I've been watching is Ben and Kayla Taylor. What I've been listening to is Ben and Kayla Taylor talking through their podcast, Trauma, Drama, and Life. I've been listening to Ben Taylor in Raw Motivations. I've been listening to, why am I blanking? The Healness. I'm blanking on his actual name.
Lee Hammock.
Thank you. Self-aware narcissists and the wife, at least a wife of a self-aware narcissist, unicorn as though they may be. And I've heard a number of similarities between where they are and where I have been and am. And in the context of that, or I guess with that groundwork having been done, you explaining how you feel, that's what I can't shake. I have never wanted you to feel this way, ever. And I have always made justifications in my mind, and I don't know at this point if I'm modifying facts or leaning heavily on facts, because I don't know, it's my brain. I can't work through any interpretation other than my own. I have yours and I have mine, and they are 180 degrees apart. And, I don't know at this point, but I know that you are unhappy, and I know that I care, and I know that I want differently for you and for me. That's what I know. And so knowing that there are similarities in the way that, especially Ben Taylor says that, I don't know if it's what I'm listening to specifically or what it is that's resonating with me, but Ben Taylor has explained how he has felt and how he's interpreted things and how it is that he's justified things, and I see those things within me. And so irrespective of diagnosis, there are enough similarities that I need to treat it as if it is narcissism.
And what about what Lee Hammock talks about when narcissists' eyes turn black?
So there's one instance where, to answer your question, Lee Hammock talks about when narcissists' eyes turn black as being, he's explaining the words of his therapist, a fucking dissociative break, I think is what the term is clinically. But what he says is
psychosis. You called it a psychotic break.
Okay. A psychotic break. I'm literally telling you.
When there's no talking to you and Dr. Hyde has taken over completely. Mr. Hyde has taken over completely. And there is no talking to you and there's black in your eyes and you're coming for me. What does he say about that?
What he says about that okay? And you're welcome to watch his video about it. You are. Because
you don't think I have like a fucking degree in narcissism at this point? I've had 5 years of being married to a fucking narcissist. Oh, right. But I can't say narcissist because I'm not clinically fucking capable. But yet, because I don't have some fucking designations behind my name, I'm not able to diagnose. But neither are fucking they. That's the part that I love the best too. So go ahead. Go ahead, explain it to me. What does he say?
He talks about the reason it happens is because my needs aren't being met, or his needs weren't being met, and the brain literally dissociates. And there's no recollection. He speaks to one specific event in his marriage where that happened, where he doesn't have a recollection of pulling a painting, like a print on canvas thing, off the wall and slicing it with a knife and putting it in his son's closet. He talks about losing the period of time basically between when that happened and when the cops showed up because his wife reached out to the police. And then he remembers talking to the cops as if nothing happened. And that's what scared his wife the most, because she thought he was manipulating, but really he had no recollection of it. There's one instance of that in my mind where I don't remember what happened between point A and point B. And you're telling me that I choked you. And what I remember is being punched in the face, and then I remember, I'm telling you, I don't remember. And so I can only imagine how scary that is for you. I have no recollection of it whatsoever. And this was years ago. I'm not talking about now. I'm talking about years ago.
So what happens when you have psychotic breaks now, like you do on the regular?
I don't know. What I know...
You don't remember those? You don't think the black is in your eyes Memorial Day? When my son is in the bush, it's like, it's today the day my mom gets killed in front of my fucking eyes. It's today the day.
I don't remember that going the way that you did.
Mm-hmm.
I'm happy to watch the video. I have not seen it yet. I have not had the benefit of having watched it. I would like to. What I can tell you is that I am taking this seriously, and I see enough similarities between my thought process and behavior and their thought process and behavior that whether or not we can split hairs on a diagnostic level, shit needs to be addressed. It needs to be changed. And I'm taking that very seriously. And so, while I do not expect you to hold out hope, my primary objection to utilizing the term narcissist is that it generally comes with like a terminal diagnosis. That has been my objection. And I feel as if we've just been a little bit off, and that little bit turns out maybe a personality disorder. I don't want to hide behind logic. I don't want to hide behind my interpretation of facts. I don't want to skew reality. I want to accept truth exactly as it is, and I want to change it. And I know that that does not happen without a great deal of work on my part. And so, I need you to know that I don't expect anything of you. I don't want anything of you. And my focus simply is on doing what is right by you and by Ronan. How that plays out, I don't know. But I'm not hiding anymore. And that's pretty much as far as I've been able to work through it.
Yup. And that's great for you. That's great. I'm happy for you, Chris. I really am. I really hope that you get the help that you fucking desperately need. Desperately need. But I thought I was marrying Prince Charming. And my son and I, half a decade later, have swollen fucking brains. There is no working this out. I don't want a podcast with you.
Okay.
I want a divorce.
All right.
I want you to help me get things done here. And then I want you to go out into the world and hold yourself accountable the way you say that you are going to. That means getting yourself an apartment.
Yeah.
Not going back to your parents' basement. Getting yourself an apartment.
Mm-hmm. Getting
yourself into a real therapist's office or coaching or whatever you're going to do. Getting yourself, if you want to explore AI and getting yourself into classes, whatever that means for you.
Mm-hmm.
I want that for you.
But it doesn't change the outcome.
It does not change the fact that I cannot be married to you. And you are toxic to me and to my son to the point where our brains swell. And while that is something you can say, kind of breeze over, and we're not really going to talk about that. We're not really going to. Yeah. I mean, I hear that happens. It's not really what I was going to talk about. I mean, yeah. That sucks. It's just terrible.
Is that what I did?
In my mind, yeah. It's basically the equivalent. While you're going to lecture me about how much empathy you have. Because somebody that has empathy, that I would go and say, you know, you've tortured us to the point where, like, my lizard brain is swollen. That should be enough to, like, drop somebody on their knees into, like, a fetal position, rocking back and forth, screaming and crying, like, oh my God, how could I have done this? Like, this is so fucking tragic and horrid. And I will pack my bags and get away from you now until I'm safe to be around. And But that's not what this is. That's not what this is. And I am not working through this problem when I know good and goddamn well for the rest of my life, I will have to sleep with one eye open and I can never actually let my guard down. That's not okay for me.
I don't want that for you.
And my son having to be in the bushes terrified of, is today the day I'm going to see my mother murdered right before my eyes, is not acceptable on any level. I know that deep down to what you are capable of, you love Ronan and I. I know that. That's part of what makes a trauma bond. Because we can see you and your potential and what it could be like if we could just build alongside each other. Because you have so many skills. And like, that's the whole fucking yin and yang tattoo. You have so many skills and so many things you can do, and I'm over here as the fucking yin. But the damage has been done, and the damage will continue. This cannot continue.
No, I can't. Not like this.
No. Not at all. Not at all.
Look.
And so what I need There's some things wrapped up here so that I can, like, take it down to a dull roar. And Ronan and I can work on it, like, because this has been, like, just absolute fucking rubble. So if you could at least help me stack the fucking rubble, I would really like for you to pack and leave and give me a divorce. I will always love you. I will always cheer you on. I will always wish it could be different. But you need to spend some time working on yourself. And I cannot be legally bound to you. Absolutely not. There's no trust anymore. Trust cannot be rebuilt from this. It can't. There's too many lines that have been crossed. This is far too toxic. And Band-Aids don't fix bullet holes.
No, they don't.
So, I encourage you. Ronan and I will be cheering for you because we know deep down Dr. Jekyll isn't the worst. But I cannot do this, and I cannot continue to live on a hope and a prayer while I can never be sure if my son and I are actually safe. It's just not okay. And we will love you, and we will cheer you on, and we will want good things for you always. Always. And I'm not trying to future dangle because really the best is that we go no contact so that Ronan and I can heal and break this trauma bond. So I'm not leaving it open for the future. But I truly hope that you focus on getting the help that you need and you don't just rush into some other supply. That you truly work on yourself because you have a lot of good stuff in there. A lot. But until you address these things, you are like literally a danger to yourself and others. And it's such a tragic situation. So I need to pull myself together and go to my job and focus on my day. I have a big day of accomplishments and things I'm doing, and I need to focus on that. You need to focus on you. I need to focus on me and my child and helping him to heal from this. He was exposed to a narcissist, the very thing I've been trying to protect him from. He was exposed to fucking narcissistic abuse. And the invisibility that comes with that at a very impressionable age. And I need to focus my time and my energies on helping him to heal from that. So he doesn't go out and do the same thing. I would like you to come up with a list of things that you think are going to be what gets this place to a point where the furnace isn't going to break and nobody's showing up. So I'm desperate and I have to call you because it's -20 and nobody else will show up. I would like you not the list that you sent me before of 20 years worth of work, because this is a living, breathing, moving thing. I mean a realistic list. Is the electric safe? Is the furnace going to crap out? Is the furnace crapping out because there's a lack of winterization? If it's a lack of winterization, what does that look like? Because I have time that I can go down and install insulation and take care of these things. So in your mind, because you are a realtor and a house flipper and you can diagnose houses, what are the immediate things? I can get on a ladder and I can take down the wood and the insulation from the chicken coop. I can do those things. I can't do the roof. Ronan deserves a roof on his fort that is still unfinished almost a year later. I can build him a sandcastle. Where are the tools that I can screw pieces of wood in and then just cut them down the sides? Because it doesn't need to be perfect. It just needs to be done. And functional. This list cannot keep me in fear. It is about what's realistic. He and I can figure out a way to pull that tree on and get it down there and get it planted. I don't need you doing that stuff. I need you doing the stuff that I was counting on having a partner for. Because I don't have the time or the headspace now to watch a goddamn YouTube video on literally everything that involves like plumbing and electrical. I don't have the headspace for that right now. So what are the major things? You got the tractor started. I would like you to take me through getting the tractor started. I would like you to work up a list of what realistically you think needs to be done, how long it's going to take you, and when I can expect that you are going to leave. That, at this point, is what love looks like for me.